You want to know about the Gambian entertainment industry. You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector. You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations. The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions. Good evening and welcome to yet another edition of the showbiz in Focus, and the first edition in 2021. First of all, I would like to say Happy New Year to our beautiful viewers out there, and also to welcome our guests tonight. Due to popular demand, they were not being able to complete the topics that we intended to discuss on, and I have them back again by Bite and Lamin Toure. My guests, welcome to the show.
Let's settle up. Welcome yourself.
Yeah, Lamin, how are you doing? How was the New Year celebrations in Finland?
Well, give thanks. It's good. It went very nice. Yeah, when I give thanks.
Hope there were some parties that you've witnessed.
Well, I didn't go clubbing, but it was fine. I was working anyway.
You were working. Okay, thank God. That is very good.
Work, I was just home and taking it easy. So I was just enjoying at home. That's great.
That is good. We can see a lot of smiles on your face. So that means you enter into the new year with a lot of commitment and also motivation. So we can see that from your smile.
Yes, Carl. You know, we have to give thanks as far as we are in good health. You know, that's all God can do for us. If you are living, you know, without no sickness, without no other problems, you just have to give thanks. And you know, 2020 has been so rough, but still we're good. And then we started this year with good health, and everything is rolling as I planned or I put it. So that's really a big thing. Health is the key, you know.
Exactly.
So family are all good, so it's very fine. I started the year really in a great way, so I'm thankful.
Okay, thank you so much, and then we like that. We like that because we want to keep our people healthy and safe, and we wish everybody, you know, a prosperous new year, 2021. 2020 has been so much difficult for a lot of people, but we still, we still give thanks. Mr. Bite, welcome to the show. Mr. Bite, welcome to the show.
Is he there?
Are we lost in Mr. Bite? Is Mr. Bite with us?
Mr. Bite muted himself.
Okay. What is happening? Master Lion, last week we were looking into the music industry of the Gambia with regards to quality, with regards to production, and also with regards to management aspects. And then you took us through a lot of ideas with regards to how artists need to organize themselves so that, you know, if they have to cross the borders of the Gambia, people could know more about them. You know, Mbaibite was talking about a press kit that, you know, people could be able to know a lot of information about our artists without even seeing them. And we were also talking about setting up management personnels, whereby these personnels could be able to do your day-to-day routine work. And then
I'm back.
You are back. Okay, Mr. Mr. Vide, welcome to the show. We would like give your introductions with
Carl,
regard
Carl, I really have to
to
find out
you.
what to buy house party so hard, but we will discuss that later.
You discuss about that. Yeah, he was having a show. So, Mr. We want you to tell the viewers, greet the viewers, and then Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. First, let me say assalamu alaikum to everyone watching right now. And I do apologize for not showing my face because I am kind of busy running some errands here and there, and it's not respectful to show my face while doing some other things. But the voice can be heard loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is my Vite again, manager of the Humanity Stars. A very youthful band,
Mm-hmm.
talented for that matter. Uh, Aside that, an actor. Aside that, a marketing supervisor at one of the biggest GSM company in the Gambia. Yes, I welcome myself to the show.
Okay, thank you so much, bye. We also wish you all the best in 2021. 2020 has
I
been
mean,
very difficult for each and every one of us because of the pandemic. But again,
particularly the artist.
especially the artist folks who are there and having their shows, every other day. And
Yeah,
we are saying that we still have to be committed and also use other means, the alternatives that are available for us to be able to, move on. And
that's true.
we like to the fact that there is a lot of virtual events that are taking place right now in the country. And in the
True.
Gambia, it's not a problem because people are performances are going,
Gathering now. Yeah,
performances
but
are going on.
Yeah, but we still have some institutions like the Gambia Red Cross Society that organize the virtual concert for volunteers who emanated from the Gambia Red Cross Society with talent and are
Mhm.
into music. Because of it's Red Cross, so we still have to observe the safety measures and precautions. So that virtual concert, which is 10 days from now,
Mhm.
it's virtual because people are going to watch it online. Because as for them, it's still not safe to gather people. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, okay, all right. That is fine. That is fine. Anything that is going to protect the people, and then protective measures are going to be adhered to. And we are very much in love with that because maybe a lot of people in the Gambia don't know, but where we find ourselves at the moment, there has been some strict measures in place. Right now,
around Europe. Yeah,
yeah, right now in Germany, after 8 p.m., it's like a coffee. No one goes out.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
it seems like you are with the family. So if you can regulate there, then we can get into the program proper.
Yeah, not with the family per se. Go ahead into the second family, which is Humanity Stars. Because I told you today, I'm not very cool, but I have to move because they're playing a farewell concert
Uh-huh.
at the newly built hall, the Sadawada Kerawajawara Hall, with the Ministry of Justice. So that's where I'm heading to. So, but I will mute my mic if I don't have to talk, so that you will hear less noise. You will have less noise from my end.
Exactly. I think that will work. But
Yeah.
again, the only problem is when we want to talk to you, so we have to
No,
be.
I can hear you clearly.
You can hear me clearly. All right. And
Yeah.
and also Mr. Lamin, as I was saying before, last week we were looking into the music sector of the Gambia. We were looking into management aspect and also promotional side. And then
Yeah.
we've delved into so many things with regards to our artists, organizing themselves, having a management team, not doing everything on their own, and at the
Yeah,
same time coming up with tools like press kit, and then usually enter into contracts when they have to be signed by companies, and also when they have any contracts, they have to make sure that agreements are signed between them and the
yeah,
promoters, companies that need them. So,
yeah.
Lami, what do you want to add on that?
Well, this is not even only about Gambian artists. Every artist, because as far as this is your career, like we said last time, artists need to put themselves together and make sure they have a strong management team because it's the betterment of the artist, you know. So if you look in the professional side of event management or artists as a in terms of performance and so on, they need to have a contract, like we said, because something that has been affecting our Gambian music industry is like we do lots of verbal agreement, you know. This is not, of course, you know, based on our culture, we are social and like each one know the other, you know, we know each other at some point. But when you look into the business part of it, you know, we have to take everything in the right way in terms of business, you know. So we have to stop this verbal agreement and then go into the in a real business way and make sure we have a contract. This for every artist and also for every promoter because in that way you have some ground because it doesn't help if you don't have no written contract with the artist or with the promoter. If something didn't work, then it's gonna be very difficult because you stand no better chance. So to avoid such things is very important to make sure every performance is contracted. That's a good way to go. And then looking into the management side, our artists need to make sure they have good management team because this is something that's going to benefit them in their career path. So it's very important for them to put that into consideration if they really want to. If they really want to take their career seriously, they need to look into that.
Exactly. Exactly. And then can you tell us some experience with regards to some of the artists that you have worked with before, and then you were having so many troubles with regards to issues like that, and then you will want to highlight on those issues so that we can take it as a learning curve.
Yeah. If I first start with Gambian artists because previous years or most of the time when I have Gambian artists on my event, it has always been a verbal agreement. So this has been really tough because, for example, sometimes, especially in Gambia, when I set up a show in Gambia, and then you know some artists they when they contact me at first we talk like brothers, you know. Hey brother, I want to pass through, you know, to support your show and so on. So we take it as a brother, you know, artists each one support another, you know. So we say support for support. You come to support my movement, and then I also support your movement. So in that conversation, there's nothing like a agreement. We agree on a specific price. If you pass through my show, this is the amount I'm gonna pay you. But it's in a way that it's a common understanding between us. You pass through, and then you can get a commission, or that's left to me, you know, those kind of thing. Well, the saddest part of it, some artists, after passing through, then they start requesting some payment from me. So then the conversation will start. Sometimes it doesn't end good because, you know, I always like to discuss such things in advance and then put it in my budget because you know it's very important for me to know as a promoter. I have to budget it. Okay, even though we have a verbal agreement, but this is a specific amount for this artist, so that's help. But if we talk like you just pass through and so on, and then it can be a bit complicated. But still, I understand from their point of view, like it's a way to support. So in order to avoid those things, you know, I didn't go into no verbal deal. I want to make sure everything goes in a written form. You know, it has
Sign and seal. Yeah, sign and
yeah.
seal.
If I look into other artists, in Jamaican artists, I haven't done. If I remember right, all my shows with them is always on a contract. Of course, it sometimes when you have a good rapport with an artist, even whether it's Jamaican or it can be from any country, it depends on your personal connection with that artist. You can sometimes have some verbal deal,
Mhm.
but most of the time with Jamaican artists we always have contract, and this is
Mhm.
something I have to discuss more later on as we proceed.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Mr. Bitte, are you hearing us? Mr. Bitte, are you with us, Mr. Bitte?
Peter might be busy, but
So, Mr. Bitte, so this is what I was saying. So I
awesome.
think, yeah, he will be coming later. So you were talking about verbal agreements, and quite a lot of artists were like you were talking with them on contract, but at the same time, because you know each other, and then you are a Gambian, so for them it's easier to
Mr.
talk
Carl.
directly. Yeah, bye.
Mr. Carl, I'm sure you guys are aware of our problem, network problem yesterday.
Now we are very much aware of that.
That's what is tripping from time to time. But I can definitely hear you loud and clear. Just if I should cut you and contribute from where Master was talking about, I think that verbal argument thing has been a problem with many artists in the Gambia.
Mhm.
And like he said, the funniest part that he mentioned, I was even laughing. That's when you call a promoter and tell the promoter that I want to pass by. And after passing by, they start asking for money. I remember I'm not a promoter at all. I'm a music manager. But what happened in our case is, Carl, you are aware of our Tobaski anniversary that we do every Tobaski.
Mm-hmm.
What normally happen is at times I will have artists that will pass by. Some of them would call me unexpectedly. I want to join the show. I want to join the show. And after they will ask me money. So from inception up to the last day we did the last time we did the anniversary, most of the or 90% of the artists that pass through our shows are given money, even though it's from artist to artist. But
Mm-hmm.
that thing is not a problem for us because we are the one that should empower each other.
Mm-hmm.
But the lack of professionalism in that aspect is because a lot of artists are used to doing that. They would convince you to pass through, and when they pass through, they demand for money. I think these are things that needs to be said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I want you to give me a contract on your show. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Everyone knows contract is agreement. You agree financially or in kind, but contract is an agreement. You understand? And that way, it will definitely help the artist, help the promoter know exactly what's happening. You
Okay.
understand? And
Mm-hmm.
another point that is quite very important with management and managers in the music scene is trust.
Okay.
I think a lot of managers in the Gambia get to
Mm-hmm.
part of their artists because of lack of trust in most
Yeah.
cases.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is very, very key because the artist must trust the manager or the management and be able to work with them. And
Yeah.
here, if you
So,
talk about trust,
I
the
don't want
most,
to, I don't want to cut you there, but
yes,
a lot of people are saying that because Gambian musicians are not having a lot of contracts and money, so that is
yes,
the reason why it's difficult for them to have managers. But I tend to disagree to that, and I don't know why. What you people can also say about that, because I have my own reservations. So, but I will want to listen to you, the technicians, to talk about that. A lot of people are saying that most of the Gambian artists could not be able to have managers because to have a manager, you have to pay the manager. So that requires, the artists to have money. And because the artists are not having quite a lot of shows, so they cannot be able to employ a manager. What do you say to that?
Well, can I come in that?
yes.
Yeah, any of you.
Yeah.
The question is for both of you.
Yeah. Well, I let my start because it's the same. I have good experience about this.
So let's come to Mbai because he is tripping. Mbai, what do you say to that?
Okay. Let me contribute.
So you can come if Mbai is here
Um,
and he can. Yeah.
you know, Carl, like I said, our artists, it's always difficult when you see an honest opinion
Okay.
in our Gambian music industry, because they will start to, you know, call you all kind of names, but the reality will always come, you know.
But
By take your time. Don't worry, take your time.
Just take your time. I think why he loved
Yeah.
the question, so he
I
wants
blame the
to.
internet, not me.
Yeah, I know. We
Blame the
know, we
internet.
know. Just take your time.
Hello, am I in?
Yeah, you
Yes.
are in now.
What I want to say is, at times you might blame the financial aspect of the artist, but most of the people behind the music industry in the Gambia, we're doing it out of love
Mm-hmm.
and out of the know about the Humanity Stars from the time we started, and even the members of the Humanity Stars can tell you that.
Mhm. Well, let me contribute due to the poor network connection he's facing.
Yeah,
But the
exactly.
truth is, yeah, like I was saying, the truth is,
Mm-hmm.
our artists need to know this is a career and it's like a business for them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
before you enter into this field, you as an artist need to set your own plans. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important. It's like any other business. You need to write a business plan about the business you want to do. You have
Mm-hmm.
every business, you know, you need to have a business plan. But in the
Mm-hmm.
artist part of like a career
Yeah,
for artists,
Mm-hmm.
they need to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Although we understand some artists based on their financial
yeah, they
aspect.
need to set their goals and everything.
Yeah. The most important thing, for
That's
example,
absolutely
artists
true.
and their money. Yeah. It means because I manage Jamaican, can you imagine? So mostly you have to write a contract between you as the manager and the artist. It's an agreement. So in that agreement, there's a in a percentage. It's like a percentage. In
Mm-hmm.
every show, this is the percentage for the manager and the percentage for the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean the artist have to pay you. It depends on the agreement. He don't have to pay you every month something, because we understand if the artist don't make any money, he cannot pay you always. But as far as you have the show, then you get your percentage and the artist get his percentage. That's the best way to work with the artist, and then to manage him in the best way you can. So
Yeah,
our artists, me, I don't take that as an excuse, because they want to be an artist. They take it as a career, so they know that they can't do the work alone, so they need to invest money and make sure they have someone to manage them. This is very
exactly.
important, because they need to concentrate on the performance part of it, or going to studio to cut a song, and the management have to do all those settings. If you have a proper management, like the artist I was managing, if we have to do a song, I will make
Mm-hmm.
the arrangement. All the artists need to do is to write the song, go to
Mm-hmm.
studio, and voice. So the mixing, the mastering, everything, the production manager will handle that with the studio, with the producer. So artist part is to write the song, you go to the studio and voice it. The rest of the work will be in the hands of the management team. This make it very easier for you as an artist. So they need
Exactly.
to understand. If you check the performance part of it, all
Mm-hmm.
you as an artist need to do, the management will make the booking for all kind of shows, whether it's live performance or it doesn't matter where, but they will do all the paperwork and then inform you we have a show this day, this place, so. So your part is to come and perform. So the management will make sure they take care of all the paperwork, the arrangement with the promoters. So you
Exactly.
as an artist, it makes it very easier for you. You have enough time to rest. All you need to do, you appear in the show and then perform. You're good to go. So the
Exactly.
manager will handle all the payment part, the arrangement with the agreement with the promoter and all kind of stuff, all what the artist need. The manager will make sure everything is
So
intact before.
I've been in the music scene in the Gambia for quite a long time. I work with the traditional artists. I want to make this clear. I work with the traditional, the very, very traditional griot artists. I was working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I was working with, per se, the professional musician bands.
Yeah.
But the problem these artists have is because, you know, the percentage that you are talking about, that is to go to the manager. I think this is the problem. A lot of the artists don't want to recognize that the job that the manager is doing for them, he
Yeah.
needs part of the money or part of the income that is coming to the artist. The manager supposed to have something out of
You
that.
know what the problem is? Artists,
Mhm,
I argue with some of them because if you try to put them on track, they think you are trying to put them down. This is not the
mhm,
case. You know, everybody need to work, and everyone, as far as you are working, you need to be paid. You need to get something out of what you are doing. So
mhm,
artists, they know that. For example, if let's take it as this: you, Carl, you are my artist, and we have a show. They pay us certain amount of money, and me as a manager, I took everything, and you already performed, but all the money, me as a manager, I took everything. You will get mad right away. So
mhm,
because you know, okay, I'm the artist, I perform, so why the manager have to take all the money? So they need to understand a manager who is spending time to book show for you, you need to understand that he's also working. So after when we get a show and they pay us, of course, you need to simple knowledge, you know, psychology. You need to understand. Okay, the manager also needs to get something. Very
mhm,
simple. If you
mhm,
look into Jamaican way of dealing with artists, Jamaican
mhm,
artists will spend money to pay radio station in terms of publicity. You understand?
mhm,
They will cut jingles or dub plates for some radio presenters in order for those also to support their music. You understand?
mhm,
So they will put money on the money. They will pay the manager to make sure he try to lobby so many bookings for him. So
mhm.
it can work because they know that they can't do everything alone. But in Gambian artists, if you, Carl, you check most of our artists, they don't even have a proper official manager. It's very difficult because I know from experience
Because
when
in
I
music, yeah, I don't want to cut you.
when I contact some of them for a
Mhm,
show, I
mhm,
always, if I don't have the manager contact, when I write you, I said to you, I would like you to direct me to your management team because I need your service. So there you know the artists don't have a manager. So then you have to deal with them directly. This is not professional.
Okay, Mr. Bide, I think you are back.
Yes, I am.
So, did you hear what my brother was saying? So, what do you have to say to that? Because I just want to tell you this. In
Yeah.
music, we have a road manager, we
Mhm,
have a personal manager, and we
mhm.
also have a financial manager. So
True.
I am very much sure that it's gonna be very difficult for some of the artists to be able to have all these three categories of managers.
Mm.
But then, can you tell us, with your band and your experience, what is happening in the Humanity Stars?
Yeah, I think okay, what's good for the goose is the same thing that applies for the gander. So I think basically
Exactly.
the problems are almost the same in everywhere you go to. Carl, because if you look at it, the management in artists is like managing artists or group. It's very very paramount. Like
Mm,
we always brought stress on.
mm,
Without it, it will be difficult for the artist to go because you cannot rep yourself everywhere and do everything by yourself. And
Yeah.
Master just said it. You understand? At times you speak to or you send a message to an artist on Facebook or something like that. I want to speak to the manager. The artist would first want to know what happened. You understand? so inquisitive that the person would want to know every bit and pieces that you want to speak to, with the manager. And Carl, there are some secrets that manager keep from artists. They are very worth doing that. You know why? Because at times managers do get busy. So it cannot be applied to the artist. You understand? So if that happens, you understand, you cannot even tell that to the artist. All you can say is usually something of this nature happen, but you tend to hide it from the artist, and that's how it works in most cases. If you understand what I mean. So it's always difficult for the money. Always difficult for the money
So Uncle Badu is saying that overseas is, they don't get booked without management. I think that is very true, because even myself, I think a month ago, yeah, so I received something on behalf of an artist, and then to be able to fulfill that, I must have to link that artist with an institution for the artist to be able to, to be able to, to be able to do what he's supposed to do with that particular institution. Without that institution, the artist will not be able to do anything with regards to the program or the set program or the intended program they want to do for the artist. So because I am not registered per se, and because I did not meet those management criterias, so I have to outsource that so that the Gambia doesn't lose it. The technique there. So I have to outsource it to somewhere so that the Gambia doesn't lose. So and that is exactly what I did, because I need to do that, because if I don't do that, then meaning we will lose, and then it will not benefit me. It will not benefit me as a person. So even if I don't have it, but someone needs to be able to do that, because there is a lot of people who met the criteria. But again, for them to be able to fulfill that, they need a set of an institution as a kind of a management to be able to do that. So I think that is something that you are talking about. It's very important that we organize ourselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that all the monies have to go to you as an artist, but again, the manager is just there to ensure that the general management and policy with regards to agreements, with regards to negotiations, with regards to contracts, then he can be able to do those things for the artists.
Carl, the thing is, if you check so many artists, I have to always take example from Jamaican artists. You see, Jamaican artists, they live in Jamaica, but many of them, they have a European booking agent, and they have a agent in Africa, or they have a manager responsible for all African booking. They have a manager or an agent responsible for all European booking. They have their own manager in Jamaica. So you can see when you need the artist in Jamaica, the manager there will handle that booking.
Exactly.
If you need the artist in Europe, the manager or the booking agent in Europe will take care of that booking. If you need the artist in Africa, the manager responsible for the booking in Africa will handle that booking. So it's very easy. But if our artists don't have even a booking agent in Europe, it's very difficult for them to cross the border, because I see them. I see it as most of our artists, their main target is Gambia. And if you check all this, I no disrespect, but which of our artists is filling the stadium without their own show? You can see if it's not their own show, it's very difficult for them to fill the stadium. Very difficult. So you can see they put more effort in their own show when they're launching the album or doing their own event. Then it's possible they fill the stadium. But if it's not their artist's own show, it's always difficult for them to fill the stadium. So there are a lot of things to discuss in that part also. But to cut it short, they need to also make sure they have somebody responsible in Europe and other parts of Africa. Or the manager in Gambia can handle all the African booking. They have someone in Europe. So this is easier. So the person in Europe will make sure he lobby events for the artists in Europe. Then they will come here.
But again, that will bring me to the question I want to pose to you with regards to the set of promoters that we also have in Europe, who are dressing up with a kind of attire to say, I am a promoter. But at the end of the day, where are they going to place these artists? That is also another question. Do you experience something like that? Because I don't want to bring a Gambian artist and then probably take you to a club whereby I will have, let's say, 75 people or 100 people, and at the end of the day, the artist pays, his train ticket, or from let's say, I can just give you like from Stuttgart to Bayern Munich, which is almost nearly about €100, and after the show, you give the artist like €200. So something like that, and the artists have to, you don't book a hotel for the artist. The artist is walking in the streets, and then you don't going to the coffee shops and things like that. I don't want to like that. So, what do you
my brother, from real experience, I have been in this field for so long, and then I have always worked as a road manager for so long. Some things, I feel ashamed to speak in English. I want to say in Gambian because,
it's no problem.
Adiamo kasi because yalo kudol bije nin komba fala because ninka kama minfo mobi la kamwe. And komi muna nang lafa ka kudol foni na kamola wala nyinti ko. Nin kombe ko be fala nga be lanke no meja. Mo be jibela nyami be put la duma bakere. But
no, it's a correction. It doesn't matter because what is happening is I like the vision, and then that is what I want. But again, we are finding solutions, and when you are finding solutions, you give.
I will continue to speak in English. The fact is,
it's
personally, I'm somebody, I always feel so happy to see my brothers are also coming up as a promoter or as an artist or as a DJ. This always, I feel it from here. You understand? I'm somebody who I don't compete nobody because I always believe that everybody have talent. Everyone is talented. It depends how you utilize your talent. So me, if I see Gambian brothers are, into promotional work, I feel so happy. But now, the question is, if they start to work on professionally, then it's difficult. Because when I look at, for example, I did a tour with ENC, and then I did a tour with Peter Morgan, and then some Gambian promoters, they book show from me. You understand? So I compare. When I'm working with Jamaican, it's strictly business. So I have to always come in between. For example, when I was touring with Peter, I have to protect my brothers because some areas, if they lack the professional part of it, I have to step in a way that, it doesn't make it difficult for them,
Yeah, you can feel it.
But the saddest part is my own brothers, they take it for granted, they think they are smart. And me, I was trying to cover them. And in the long run, if they want to work with a Jamaican artist or any other artist, not Gambians, they will find always difficult because you need to make sure first you need to have a contract with the artist, and then performance, the minimum performance time needs to be on the contract, and then in that, even before you start to publish the event, you have to put the deposit. If you design the flyer before you publish it, you need to send it to the artist management. They need to check whether they are satisfied with the flyer. Also, when they give you the green light, then you publish. But if you check in government, most of these government promoters, once you have a deal with them, before you are even done finally, you will see the event in social media. They will make the flyer without contacting you. So everything is just there in a rush. And if you try to correct them, it's always a problem. And coming to the part of this flight or train tickets and so on, I have experience from a promoter who said he don't pay artists return ticket. You understand? I have seen from a promoter who don't book us hotel. He was telling us to, hang around somewhere. Can you imagine all the way from Helsinki to, to another country? We have to be, hanging around. And then after this,
from Helsinki, you went to other European countries, so you have to hang around in the street.
And then after the show, we have to hang around before the next morning flight to the next city. So I said to the promoter, that's not gonna happen. So me, as the road manager, what I did, because this brother was insisting to book us a hotel, me and ENC. So I have to book the hotel myself from my own money, because I can't allow my artists to stay in the street. That's not gonna happen. So these are challenges that I face, and then at the end, I like to support. I talk to this promoter that this is not the way to do this work, because if it's not a Gambian artist, you can lose this show straight away, because some artists, they will not even go anywhere. You don't respect the agreement with them, then you lose your show straight. But as Gambians, sometimes we like to support each other, but they don't have to take that for granted, because that doesn't help them anyway. So promoters who are in Europe, Gambians, I mean, they need to make sure they themselves have to organize themselves. They have to work professionally. Make sure you have agreement. You book artist transportation. You book the artist hotel. You provide the artist this backstage. We call hospitality rider. You need to put something. Yeah, based on the hospitality rider, they need to respect that. But some of them, they don't care. All they need
like the drinks or the beers or whatsoever, they have to.
They need to be able to read and understand what is in the contract and what is in the hospitality rider, because it's deep. Some contract hospitality rider is also in the contract, but some they put in a two separate part. So when you send to some promoters, they look at it as a joke, and these are things you have the artist.
Like an artist will say, okay, I want like a swimming pool, maybe a day before the performance. So I want to go to a swimming pool. So and then you have to take care of that.
No, mostly in the contract. In the contract, the artist, let's say the management will, in the contract, will only contain the agreement between the artist and the promoter, what the promoter need to do in order to make it so happen. Basic things, the safety of the artist, the performance time. They also need to know the safety of the venue, and then the distance from the venue to the to airport, and airport to hotel, and hotel to the venue. These are things we as promoter or road manager, we want to know, because the reason is you want to know from the airport to the hotel and hotel to the venue, because if you are flying the next morning to the next city, you need to know the distance. So you have to calculate and put this in account beforehand. But some promoter did, because I have been to some cities, it's like a 45 or 1 hour drive from that hotel to the airport. So if you don't know, you can miss a flight. So this can always be a problem. That's why you need to know all this in advance. So coming to this swimming pool and stuff, of course, artists they specify the type of hotel. Some will say 4-star, 5-star, 3-star, and then specify the bed, king size bed, or so and so. But there's always flexibility. The road manager or the manager on the road can also deal with the promoter and make sure things work fine, because we are all human. We have to be flexible sometimes. When an artist requests a 5-star hotel, in some cities they have 4-star, but in a good it's a good hotel and then well secured. Of course, the artist will understand, and they have no problem with that. But if an artist needs something else, then it's on the artist and the management themselves. They have to handle that. If you want to go to a swimming pool, Well, if the hotel have, you can go there. But if it's outside the hotel, then you have to take care of that
Exactly.
yourself as artist. But if
Yeah.
you are the promoter, if you don't know that some artists they can kill you because they want you to do everything, while they have to handle that.
So
So you
I'm
need.
putting that into the equation just to show how presidential
Mm,
artists are, because if I was like in the 1970s and I could maybe be able to discover how Ifam Bondi or Gelawar were, you know, received by these European recording studios, they will tell you that, you know, they have what you call a kind of you know, they were driven by bosses from one city to another, because you can see that with even footballers. When Manchester United is traveling to another city which is not very far, they have a special coaster, and this special coaster will have all the players in. So are we seeing something like that, you know, with regards to the way we can organize ourselves, with the way we can have a kind of a consortium between some of the high-rated promoters like you in Europe, that you can
mm.
come up in a kind of a coalition, so that when Gambian artists or African artists are coming from Africa, you could be able to work with them and ensure that all these things that you are talking about are applied to the
The,
latter.
the importance of having a road manager or a European agent. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not speaking because I want artists to book me or to take me to work for them. I'm just giving an example
Mm-hmm.
because I'm fine anyway. This is for them to understand. Because, for example, me, all the Gambian artists I have, I pick them VIP pickup from the you can ask any of them from ENC, from T Smalls, from Royal Messenger and G, and all the artists that I work with. I myself I dress up nice and go to airport, pick them with honor, and then take you to a hotel. If you check, I put T Small right in the heart of Helsinki. He knows. I pick G and Royal Messenger with maximum respect because I take them as I will take any other artist. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those people were in a five-star hotel in the heart of Helsinki, and then when I picked them from airport, I took them to for a breakfast. This is normal. It's for every artist. It doesn't matter whether Gambian or non-Gambian. You
Yeah,
pick
when
them.
it's organized,
If
when
you
it is
take my
organized,
event the way I organize, you know, even I'm gonna lose, but I will spend and show to the artists that I respect them because this is my work, you know. When I
Mhm,
pick my artists, I want them to be comfortable because they come to do work for me. So
mhm.
take you to breakfast in the hotel, and the hotel is paid. You are safe. You just have your own time. So
Exactly.
in between, before the, you know, something what is important for promoters to know.
Mhm,
Artists need to know the schedule in
mhm,
advance. Pick up from the airport to the hotel. You know, you send an info sheet to the artist or the agent you work with. So when you send the info sheet, that info sheet will contain the pickup time from the airport to the hotel, and then
mhm,
in between from the hotel to the venue for sound check,
mhm,
or before sound check, if they are not tired, you
mhm.
can take them for a day trip for them to see the city and so on because it's also good. So
I don't want to cut you. I don't want to cut
yeah,
you, my brother, because the way we are breaking it down is very important. And
yes,
then all the informations that you are saying, if they translate into the documents that are going to back you for your invitation, that it
mm,
makes it relevant. Because I just give you an example. As a traveler before, when
mm,
I was in the Gambia, I used to travel to different conferences around the world, and then all what you are saying, these are
mm,
some of the things that will be there. They will prepare a program, and they will prepare the pickup at the airport, and my name will be with someone outside the airport, and then this guy will put there Mr. Banja.
yeah,
And when I come directly out of the airport, I know, oh, this is the guy who is coming to pick
yeah,
me up. And then
yeah. You know,
from there directly to the
that
hotel.
that is what.
Yeah, and that's
That's
how.
why I'm telling you. I'm telling you the work of a road manager is
Uh-huh.
very important because, for example, artist going to a new country, a new city which he has never been before. So you need to know what to expect in advance. It helps you as the road manager. It helps you as an artist that what you can expect in advance, because you have the detail. For example, the hotel detail. You have the detail of the promoter. You have the number and everything. And then if somebody else will pick you up, other than the promoter, you have the detail of the person picking you up from the airport. So you are comfortable. So sometimes I have been in some cities. There's no promoter to pick me. I have to but me, I travel a lot, so I can find my way from the airport to the hotel. If I know the hotel information, I can get myself there. Because when I was story with ENC, it's always simple. If the promoter is busy, I make it easier for him. I always tell them, you don't need to pick us. Just give the name of the hotel, and then we meet there.
Yeah.
So this is easier because I can always get myself out from the airport to the hotel. But like you were saying, when we look into part of the visa process, embassies will ask the tour, they will ask contract from the source. Sometimes some embassy will ask the 3 contract you have with the promoters. And then you need to have the tour roster that shows the dates and the places you'll be traveling. And they need to see the hotel bookings. They need to see some of the flyers that have already been confirmed.
Personal material.
So all these things, you have to put them together. Otherwise, you can't get it. It's not because people, they want to see everything in black and white.
Exactly, because it gives them an idea to be able to classify you as a working artist.
Yes, because embassies, I can tell you, Carl, embassies are more concerned your day off, because they know you are not playing every day. Your day off, for example, if you perform mostly in weekend, like Fridays and Saturday, and very rare you have Sunday. But now from Sunday to Thursday, you have more rest day than the days you perform. So during your off day, they want to know where are you gonna stay as an artist, or you and your team. They are very concerned about this because they need to make sure, they need to have some idea where the artist will be between this time, from this day to this day. From the last show before the next coming show, they need to know where you're gonna be staying. And then,
because you cannot be thrown in the streets.
No, because they are also there to protect you, because they have to have some idea.
Exactly. So it's just like helping, in a nutshell.
That's why I said, sorry to interrupt, because today I don't want us to run out of time. So I will just talk to make sure we discuss some important area. Because without this, it's going to be very difficult for our artists to come to foreign. If our Gambian brothers don't book you, European agents or European promoters, they will not easily book you, because if you are not organized, you will find it difficult. Very difficult, yeah.
Okay. So then, apart from that, also with regards to the material, I realized to the fact that individual artists, are finding it easy to travel. But again, working bands in the Gambia that are doing very well, the likes of Humanity Stars, the likes of Holy Family Band, the likes of Kebatelo and Friends Band. Why is it that we cannot be able to arrange as promoters to be able to help these bands to tour Europe with, some quality Gambian musicians?
Well,
apart from Jaliba, because we know Jaliba is doing that with his band, 100%. But again, other musicians.
Carl, it's the same process. It is basically the same process. Once again, our band or our solo artists, they have to organize themselves, because I have, like I mentioned earlier, in 2013, I set up a tour for Titi and the band, and these are 15 people. They got the visa to Europe. Even though I was not on the road with them, but to give some kind of idea, with that light number, they have visa and they came to Europe, they performed shows and they went back. So it's the same procedure when you work with individual artists. Again, most of Gambian promoters, even a solo artist, they want to book only the artist to come on the show, on the road. You understand? They find it difficult to pay, for example, artists and the road manager. They always prefer one person. And most of the time I argue with them that, you know, it's not easy for me to let my artist to come to a place where he has never been. So me, the tour organizer, the tour manager, and the road manager, I need to make sure my artist is well secured. These are professional things.
Maximum respect, Mr. Ture. Thanks for sharing your experience, knowledge, honest, and open-mindedness. I think this is from Catch a Fire. You know him.
Yeah, he's a big man. I will come to this Gala and Delight. I will come to that later on.
Okay.
So, if you take a look into professional part of it, Carl, our promoters, Gambian promoters, or even organizers need to understand it is not professional to let the artist travel alone, because this is somebody who's coming to perform. He don't need to go all this stress up and down, because he need to come and rest and focus on the performance part of it. That's the work part of it. But if you let him come alone, somebody who has not traveled to some European countries before, you know, it can be stressful. But once the manager is there, I handle with ENC, you can interview him direct. I handle everything. Everything runs very smooth.
I saw those things. I saw the quality.
Because he feels more comfortable. You know, he feel more comfortable because I have experience. So everything went fine.
No, I saw the sound check. You know, when they were doing the sound check, I can see the happiness on their face.
Yeah.
You know that these people are comfortable. You know that they sleep well. You know that they are dressing well. They are dressing good. And you know, one important part of it, I just want to talk about.
Yeah.
We have quite a lot of professional instrumentals in different parts of Europe. Don't you think a Gambian artist supposed to come with a band, and then this person supposed to, like, for instance, I just give an example, Jalimadi. Now, the Kebatelo and Friends band, you have Kebatelo on the bass guitar, you have his keyboard player, and then you also have his percussion player. And then now you concentrate on, let's say, Uncle Sankung in Norway, or our big uncle, Badu Job from Holland, and then Musambu from UK, and then someone Surasuso from UK, you know, something like that. So you make that composition of a band, and then in that application process, some of these artists are coming from the Gambia, but other artists, you are sourcing them from other European countries. And don't you think that can also be quite effective?
Yes, because from experience, when I was first time bringing singer the Freaky Joe in Helsinki, this time I have Morgan with the band, Peter and Grant and the band. That was the time I first brought. I was having a partner, a Gambian promoter also. We asked Freaky Joe singer as the supporting artist.
Yeah.
And that's so we set up a band for him, and this band was in Helsinki. So all we need to do, we have to take care of the production part of it, send his song to the band, and they did rehearsal before he arrived, and it went very fine. He came prior to the event, had some time with the band, and then the performance was fantastic. And again, I did the same thing for Peter Morgan with a band in Helsinki. I did the same thing for Luciano when I booked him on my reggae jam show in Helsinki. I set up the band, and then I went to do rehearsal with the band every second day. And then the same with Marla Brown, the same with Mikey General, all those artists. Band, I set up the band here, you know, and they backed them with. It was fantastic. So if we check our solo artists, for example, it's very easy for promoters to set up a band for any other artist, even not Gambian, any artist, because there are professional people who can back any artist. So it depends. Now, promoter or the artist want to perform with a band, then the promoter will make sure he has a band in that city, or the artist will come with his own band. So to avoid too much expenses on the event organizer, then you can set up a band in your country, in your city. It's very easy. So I see no problem with that. And then we have good Gambian band like Humanity Stars and those. They can back any other artist. But now, how many of our artists are willing to travel with those bands to foreign, even to Senegal? How many Gambian artists is willing to take Humanity Stars to Senegal to perform? Because they only focus on their own self. So
yeah, to play on playback. Gambian,
it's not even playback because they do full song, and full song is not playback. Really, that is the worst part of it.
No, but Uncle is saying Gambian artists cannot do even a regular 120. So, but I think he can be right in some way. But artists
not somewhere he's totally right, because I know from experience, definitely. Let me come into that, because the problem is I have seen so many Gambian artists perform on a track show. You understand? And they request lots of thousands for you to pay them as a promoter. But once they come to your show, they will perform maximum under 20 minutes or 15 minutes. And then they demand more than many thousand. This is not professional, because on a track show, the minimum is 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes performance. Then this is standard. But now, how can you pay artists with big amount of money? The artist will just come and do 2 or 3 or 4 songs, and that's it.
I understand that part. I can tell you one.
With a band show,
Jaliba Kete can play 120 minutes. Tata can play 120 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Jalimadi can play 120 minutes. And then Humanity Stars, their band, their singer can play 120 minutes because they have a couple of albums and they were all live band recorded. Maybe one can question the quality. Royal Messenger with a reggae band can be able to play 120 minutes because he has done it in Senegal in some of the festivals that he has attended before. So I don't even need to mention names, but I am quite.
Sorry, let me interrupt you in there.
Yeah.
Every artist can do 100 or even 200 minutes. Every artist, whether you are a beginner or you've been there, it depends on the contract. If you have an agreement with the artist in advance, I need you on this show on this maximum time, then you already know as an artist, I'm gonna perform for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. You understand? So you agree with the promoter or event organizer. Of course, it's very rare for event organizer to request 120 minutes on a standard contract, but they will ask you for 60-minute performance, 45 to 60 minutes if it's a band show. So sometimes the band, if they are the only band or the main band, even you have on a contract for 50 minutes or 45 minutes, sometimes they go even more than that.
More than that.
Artists, but the important part of it, the agreed time, you have to meet that time. Like if it's 45 minutes, you have to do 45 or more, or only 45. Even with a solo artist on a track show, when the promoter say your performance is, we on a contract, your performance is 30 minutes or 35 minutes. So you have to keep that time. So after 30 minutes, sometimes when the party is going nice and the fans are happy, you can go. Some artists, they even want to go even more than 1 hour. So
yeah, but it's even happening in Gambia. You can see that most of the corporate companies, like the gala dinners that they are doing, why are they outsourcing that to Senegalese musicians or foreign musicians, we can call them? It's because of what Uncle Badu is saying.
Yeah.
Because the need for the gala is almost about 3 hours because they have to.
Carl,
Yeah.
That's why I said our artists, they have a long way to go. They need to organize themselves. They are not ready. If you look, most of the artists, they are not ready, because to perform for 20 minutes or 25 minutes is not even easy. So you need to train, you need to work hard for that. So, for example, European promoters or any other promoter, they will go standard. That is 45 minutes performance. If you cannot do that, then they cannot pay you more money, or they have to pay you less money. If they have to pay you, let's say 2,000 euro, they will pay you 700 or 500, because if you expect to do 45 minutes, you cannot do that, then you don't have to expect high payment from that person. You know,
Exactly.
some promoters or some event organizers are very strict. You work for your money and then get paid. If you don't work for it, they will not pay you.
Okay. So
And then
yeah, so as a promoter
yeah,
with initiatives in Finland, because you're talking about the reggae jams festival whatsoever that you
yeah,
have there. I'm aware that you also have a cultural festival also.
many events. Yeah.
Yeah, so and then you are telling us bye-bye. Why? With all this establishment, or are you still continuing with the establishment?
No,
What is happening? So uh, are you selling out the initiative?
no, BTC is behind the scene.
Oh.
Carl, the thing is, like, to be
Uh-huh.
very honest, uh, the like of me, and if I have to say Gale and many other good promoters, Gambian promoters, and many other pioneers, DJs in foreign,
Mhm.
I see us, we are not, they don't identify, or they don't value us, they don't even recognize us. So we
Mhm.
cannot force ourselves to them. So
Mhm.
that means some other people will benefit what we can do. For example, Jamaicans, I've been working with them for many years, because they know what they want and what they can benefit from me. You understand? So we have so many Gambian good promoters, not even only me, but like Gale is a senior. He senior me in this field. And then
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
hold on, think about the like of King Ralph. When I have to I was prepared to mention that later on, but I will say it right now. When I
Mhm.
was starting as a DJ back in Gambia, to be
Mhm.
very honest, the DJ that inspired me was King Ralph. I have never met him yet in person, but he is one of the DJs that inspired me a lot. DJ Kora was one of them. Lamin Cham was one of them, and there was a sound system called Kimbai Sound. I
Mhm.
think
Right.
this
Yeah.
this sound, and they motivated me a lot. So we have all these people alive. They are all here. So what is happening to our Gambian artists? You have these big people in foreign, they can support you 100%. So if our artists are not listen,
What I am also saying, no, 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 no,
no, hold on. The problem is
I know what you want to say. I know what you want to say. So I'm giving you a proposal. The proposal is we have all these people. I am in touch with King Ralph. I am in touch with Baba Gale. I'm in touch with you. And I am in touch with the rest of the people that you are calling. What I am saying is that how can we motivate Gambian musicians to imply professionalism, and
yeah,
then thereby creating a platform or thereby creating initiatives that is going to showcase not only Gambian musicians, but professional musicians, we can call it, but not forgetting Gambia. So that is what I'm talking about. Now it is your role and the people that you are calling to come together, form a consortium and ensure that you will be able to provide these services for these young Gambian musicians that
no,
are.
I will not agree with that,
You will not.
because
Okay.
no, because Carl, to be very honest, our
Mhm.
artists, they need to know we senior them even without music. You understand? Me, I
Exactly.
have always been somebody who, if you people who knows me in Brikama, I form more than 3 to 4 football teams. So I'm always with young youths. Some when I'm the one who even set up a first academy, football academy in Brikama. These are age of 14 to 15, 16, you know. So in the music industry, I've always supported so many young DJs, and now they might be listening right now, and still supporting so many artists. I managed philanthropy back in the day, long time ago. I have seen so many artists when they are coming up. You understand? I support.
Saying something, you can continue. It's important to read the messages. Gambian fee demands outrageous for international standard, demanding €1,000 for 15 minutes playback, whereas overseas professional musicians get net fee of 250 to 350 euro for 2 hours live performance.
There you go.
Eh.
Yeah.
I don't
And that's true. You know,
so near accumulate as a working artist. What time only because ni mole ikela kodo ekamabole bukabe domosinya killing.
You know, Carl, the important aspect of that, I have to say before I forget this part.
So you are talking about philanthropists and all the other people. Yeah.
Yeah, but what Uncle Buddy just right, I have to elaborate a bit on that. For example, if you're an artist in Gambia and you're coming for a European tour, embassies need to know how much you paid for each show. This is very important because from there they can be convinced that the artist is able to take care of himself based on his payment. So if you are if that is not enough, then you will be rejected.
Yeah, 250 euros from even 250 euros. 250 euros from puro moya so de la poso kono wo mu domoro puro ya be domo wo hani karo fanga se balundo no karola so wala kede ela kodo nyim fang eta nin kamin fo comme payment on ni ko bo fala ga ne bo di la gambiano la iya kumandina jang asamira ko maybe ba mare sunya kana but like based on different shows that you are going to have ne do collect ja ye do collect ja ye do collect ja ye do collect ja that it becomes better hani modol fam bije me ala nako fam eka jaleba kuyade sometimes eka kumol formale with regards to things like this because professionally ateka apply nyaming so iba jalala ko mol ka jalala ko katulani $1 sol ani €1 min di la pano kono wo mu traditional way. But okay, because of our ability means to be able to tour from one city to another or from one country to another, nabala European tour keka, wala akina ala net paying akabetia. But amanke ko ika sila reke yana ye €50,000 diala. 50,000 euro puro tubabo fanga mojo tubabu deul milianan ko fanga ibijang puro ela karibio mominka wuli nano sotani wuli lulo. Woman siade.
No. But Carl, you will be surprised that some artists or some bands in Europe here, they get even up to 15,000, 20,000 in a one show.
Yes, yes.
But now, what we're talking here is it all depends on the artists and how they organize themselves. This is the most important part of it. You know, what our artists need to understand. For example, Jamaican. Let me take example of Chronics. Chronics European agents and me, we've been working for many years before Chronics come. When he contacted me about Chronics at that time, I didn't know this youth, you know. So I did research. Then I started to follow. So Jamaican, most of the Jamaican artists, first time in Europe is a promotional tour. And the target in this is not to make big payment or so. They come to promote their own image or their own brand, their music, and so on to the people. This is a new area for them. So now they're willing to spread their networks and build a bigger fan base. So in that, they will go for low payments. You understand? Because they're coming to promote themselves. They are not expecting promoter to pay them $5,000. Because this time you don't have a fan base in many of these European countries. So you can't expect big payment at that time. But after the promotional tour, your second time, then already with your hard working and the agents are working, people get to know who you are, your music is selling, your music is played everywhere in Europe, then you have a bigger fan base. So when you come in next time, you can ask a standard amount. This is how it goes. But for example, I approached a Gambian artist for Helsinki, and the artist was telling me big amount of money. If I cannot do that, then I have to leave. I said, well, I'm sorry, with all respect, I cannot pay this amount of money because in Helsinki here, people don't know you that much. So I'm willing to bring you to promote so that people can know who you are and what you can do. But the artist was thinking, I'm putting him down, yeah, because if it's another artist, I'm paying them big amount of money. They like to compare too much. And me, honestly, one way, something about me, I don't compare no artist. That is my way. I don't compare no art because what I believe is that every artist have talent. It doesn't matter whether you are from Gambia or from any other country. As far as I need your service, I request with maximum respect. But
because music is business.
Yeah, the business part of it is to bring an artist to your venue or to your city or your country. You as the event organizer need to know the market the artists have there. If he don't have much funds or many people will not come, you can be sure that he cannot pull crowd. So there's no point to pay a big amount of money. Already you have some idea that this artist is not known here. So it's sometimes something our artists need to understand. They need to be willing to come and be promoted in this part of the world. So it helps them.
Okay. And then what are some of the strategies that you want to put in place with regards to making sure that your platform continues to support those good and professional Gambian musicians?
You mean my platform? My
your platforms.
Well, if it was before, but not nowadays. I'm not into music. Like I say, I'm behind the scene. I keep myself low. You understand? I respond to artists that need my support or whatever. Yeah, because to be very honest, Carl, it is always disrespectful to run after our young artists. You understand me? I respect all of them, and then for me, it's fine. But somebody who don't value you, who don't know your effort, who don't even think you are existing, so you take it as okay.
So Uncle Badu is saying, I compile an extensive piece on overseas touring. I will mail it on request if someone need it.
Yeah.
I will always say, you know why I want to keep my program in a direction whereby I will be focusing some of the things that Uncle will say, and at the same time I will also take note of some of the problems, because what we are doing, we are trying to find ideas and then also to be able to come up with solutions. There is no way that if somebody has reached to a stage in music stardom that no one can be able to deny. It is an undeniable fact. They have done music at the highest level of where music's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we have to reckon that, we have to recognize that, and we have to celebrate that. And then a person like me, I can celebrate it over and over and over and over again. But we have a rich cultural heritage, and then a music culture that is coming from the Gambia. If you look at the rhythms that are created by the Jola music that is coming from the Jola music, you also think about the rhythms and the melodies that are coming from the kora instrument, and how mystical is that instrument. And you also think about the Wolof percussion patterns that you can into a music we call the sabar, that can make people to dance, that is coming out from the Gambia. I don't think we should complain about having good music. So if we are finding a way, we should be able to come here and talk about things that we can be able to do to ensure that we create that better understanding and also how to, encourage and promote professionalism with regards to Gambia as a country.
To give you one example, in Helsinki, every year, the last weekend of May, there's a festival called World Village Festival in Helsinki. This is an annual event. And this event is basically cultural artists. Jaliba Kuyate was once there because we, the Gambians here, with the support of Gambian Association, we lobby to make sure he's part of the performing artists, and we succeeded. He performed in that. And this festival is always more than 5 to 10,000 people because it's an outdoor festival. So any of our Gambian artists can do it. Understand? But they cannot do lack of professionalism. They will not get it there because these are the association will look into the business part of it. So there are so many cultural events here because in Helsinki, in Finland, every city have a cultural event. So they look into the cultural artists.
So and you were telling us that you are also organizing a cultural event.
Yeah, because
supported by the city. But why do you want to leave it? Why do you want to master?
Now let me tell you, Carl. Sometimes if I am trying to promote Gambian culture in here, you understand, and my own Gambian people are not supporting me. If it was you, it's not gonna be easy, to be honest, because all what I was doing is to promote Gambian culture in Finland. Because when I started my company here, the first name was Gaffy Expert. It's like Gambians and Finnish Expert working together. That was the first name, Gaffy Expert. So promoting culture that is my field because I specialize in multicultural event management. So organizing Fest, it's an event that brings so many different cultures together, and the event is outdoor. So in this, the city is very interested about it because they see it as a free event.
Kind of exchange, yeah.
It's an outdoor without no ticket, and then in this, all you need to do to organize, make sure there's security because you have to fill the form, make sure that you get a permit from the police, and also you have to make sure they're secure because when you apply the permit from the police, they will ask about security measures and all these things. Once you put everything in order, then it's like a project, you make a project plan and then send to the city and request for support. So the city will sponsor the event because they know it's a non-profit event. So the sponsor is like so that you are able to, organize the event and make sure artists get something. So all the artists know that this is not like a profit-making event. It's an event that is free of charge, and then people can come and just enjoy. So
the important part to showcase in that particular project initiative is that the event will be available to the audience, that is the Finland audience.
Yes.
They are interested to know that their people will be like the people who will benefit, like the beneficiaries.
Yes, because let's say, I was me as a Gambian, I innovated event called Sun Festival, which is now the city is doing it every year. Sun Festival, But I came with the idea, and then the city was they were interested about that, and now I gave that event to them, so it's now an annual event for the city.
So the city, so they make it during the summer period.
Yes.
So you get the idea because of you are from the smiling coast of West Africa, and then sun is coming.
The thing is, like what I was saying here, this is not about to me. I'm in real nature. In reality, I'm someone who is shy. I don't talk too much, even though when I'm doing promotional work, I can talk and blah blah blah. Promotional life. But in real life, I'm very reserved. I'm so
yeah.
You understand? But our artists, they know that I am here. They know, for example, the likes of Gale, the likes of Kiral, and all those promoters there. We have so many Gambian promoters there. But how many artists are even contacting those people who can support them? Because they feel too big to contact me or even you or Gale and so on. If you don't make your work, you will not succeed easily. I tell you, no joke. Because this is a cane work. I take it from myself as a promoter, what I do daily. Because to work as a promoter, I do a lot of research. I do research all over the world. Every artist, every country, I want to know the key artists, and then I have to know something about the artist. So once I build interest in you, it doesn't matter. You can be in Jamaica, or you can be in Senegal, or you can be in Gambia. Then, based on what I find in you, I will send requests for your service.
Uncle Sanko is saying, thank you, Kalilu, for the compliments to Ifam Bondi. I'm a living student and witness to that. I think he was one of the people who were like understudying on the Ifam Bondi. You know, this is the beauty about this program. We haven't.
What I really find it very difficult to understand in Gambian artists is that, one, they don't even have a professional or a personal DJ. Some they have, but a DJ that will play for you in all your shows, you know, it's like you hired that person, you know, and then this person, the artist need to invest money to make sure the artist get all the DJ requirement, the equipment he needs on stage. The artist need to provide that for his own DJ, not like the DJ have to struggle and get that. You, for example, if I employ you into my company, you're gonna work for me as PRO, as the CEO, or whatever. So in that office, I don't expect you to come with everything and place in the office. No. The manager, the CEO of the company need to provide things that you need to make sure you work comfortably, because this is the interest of me as the owner of the company. So it's the same as when you as an artist, you take somebody to play for you, work for you as personal DJ, you need to invest money and make sure your DJ got all the DJ equipment. The same like for the band also. The band manager, the owner of the band need to invest, make sure your band, they have all the requirement, or at least most of the important thing they need to have, because otherwise they cannot work for you the way they should. This makes it very difficult. So I really don't understand. There are so many Gambian artists in Europe here. They have better chance, but how many of them even have own DJ? How many of them even have a band? If you check, we have big artists in foreign here, and they have the skill, they have everything. Artists.
I think somebody like Oluganda is in Finland, and the last time I could remember, he was in China. Yeah, yes, the last time I could remember, he was in China, and there is this African reggae label that is promoting him also. I want to get him to hear from his side of the story. You know, from the horse's own mouth. I want to bring him on the platform, and I also want to bring our artists, you know, so that we can hear from them also what is impeding them, and what is their constraints, and then, you know, so that we can learn from that too. But I am very much so that most of the things that we are talking about are happening, you know, in the Gambia with regards to professional musicians applying professionalism, employing managers, you know, having DJs, you know, road manager, making sure that you enter into contracts before doing anything with anyone, the verbal agreements and things like that. And, you know, moving away from the traditional Mbikadi, you know, we call it in Mandinka Mbikadi, that means and then you know, switching to the professional way, whereby we can organize ourselves into ensembles, we can organize ourselves into cultural groups, and thereby we don't just go into the hotels, because we even have a platform right there in the Gambia. And you can see that the hotels will have a crazy manager, and this crazy manager will just go and pick, you know, any kind of cultural bands, and then they will not even enter into any contracts. but they will be there every week playing, and the tips that the tourists are giving, that is what they will go away with. But again, the actual contracts are not been signed. And that was the reason I was initiating to the music union before when we were there, that we need to take note of all those people, because they are our members. They are part of the family, that is the musician family, because these people are playing professional drums. They can, they do acrobatic style of dancing, and, they play good music, but no one is, recognizing them and supporting their efforts. And our singers are not using them because everybody wants to be a singer. My brother.
Yeah.
We have 1,000 singers and we have only 20 instrument players. What do you say to that?
Well, like I said, it depends on the artist and how they organize themselves. Because some artists, they want to work with only band, with band. Some they don't want to do even track show. You know, some artists, of course, based on the type of event, they can do track show. But it all depends on the artist. If you only want to do just as tracks because they feel like, they will take all the money. But when they are the way I see it, when they're working with the band and there's a payment, then they calculate, okay, if we have this amount, so you have to divide this money among ourselves, So this can be one issue. But once again, it depends on how the artists organize themselves. Because to work with a band is always authentic, because this make your music unique, and then live performance and a track show are never comparable. You can't even compare them.
Okay.
Some people they like live band performance. They don't even come to track show. Some people they definitely enjoy live performance. So it all depends on how the artists organize themselves.
Okay. So yeah, that is very true, Master Lion. I think now we are almost to the end of the program.
That's always a problem.
Yeah, I am very sure that you have diluted quite a lot of things that you have wanted to say, particularly with regards to promoters. And then you have mentioned some, renowned promoters, Gambians, who are available here in Europe, particularly in Germany. And I know we have quite a lot of them in the United States and also in Norway, in Holland, in Sweden. We have Gambians everywhere. So, what do you want to send out to the young promoters? What should they do? What is that right track that they should follow?
They need to understand working as a promoter is not just about hype. It's not just about hype, because if you want to work as a promoter, you don't only target on Gambian brothers, like Gambian artists. If you specialize in general with every artist, that means you have to work professional, because otherwise you'll have lots of problems along the line when you start to work with Jamaicans or any other artists, because these people will look the business part of it. When they are dealing with you, they will be very strict. Sometimes, for example, I give example when I was touring with ENC. I contacted all the promoters, all 99, only one booking with German people, but the rest are German promoters, the new ones. So I understand many of them are new in the business. So what I did was I gave them the full assurance to promote their event even without paying us no deposit. No promoter have put a deposit beforehand. I think one or two. One or two promoter put deposit beforehand, but the rest I make it flexible, because we have to understand each other. I try to make it easier, but if they deal with other artists, will be different. They will even allow you to publish a flyer before putting deposit. So these are things they need to understand. If they want to work as a promoter, they need to make sure they did a lot of research. You need to know which artist is good for your city, and then you need to know the business part of this work as a promoter. They need to be able to write contract and read and understand what is stated in the contract to make sure you are not trapped in some point. Because if an artist send you a contract and the requirement you didn't fulfill, you can lose your show. And this is painful. I know.
I think what you are trying to say here is that the artists also, that it will be my message to the Gambian artists, the artists also, or any other artist, the artists also have to distinguish a wannabe promoter and those promoters that they need to work together with.
Exactly.
Because that is also the problem. If we have too many wannabes like Kalilu, then you have a problem when you come to a show. So you need to look out. You need to search. Go and do your own researches and see who are promoters that can be able to place you there on the map. And you look.
Lot of promoters. Listen, lot of promoters. I think I can see they don't do their research properly, because if you book an artist to a venue, you need to know what the venue have, the PA system and everything, the safety in the club. You as the promoter need to know, because I've been to some venue, the sound was very poor. You know, there is no backstage. Backstage sometimes is not even a big thing, but the sound has to be good. This is something the promoter need to understand also. You know, they have to put into consideration, because it always kills the vibes. When the sound is poor, then the artist cannot perform.
You said you are calling the spade the spade.
Yeah,
and
so
I totally agree. You know, sometimes the truth hurts, but you know, when people speak the truth, you can.
And also, Carl, as a promoter, they need to value the artists they bring into their venue, because I have seen so many events. You bring artists, if they do their task work in advance. For example, you don't expect Vibes Cartel to come to a venue which takes 500 people. You can see that this promoter is really crazy, because artists like Vibes Cartel, which you targeting more than many thousand people, you cannot put that in a venue that hold only 500 people.
Exactly.
And so of our government promoter, they have
there will be problem.
If you take an artist that can pull out more than 500 people, you can't stage that in a 500 venue.
Exactly.
It will always bring problem, because when so many people turn out, then some will not have chance to come in, then there will be fight at the door. So you as the promoter need to, because me, when I'm doing a street reggae festival or big concert, I have a like the like of G and Royal Messenger. You've seen that stage. That venue takes minimum 1,500 upwards, because it has a ground floor and upstairs. Because I know that's a venue where you can put more than 2,000 people. But if I go to my regular club in India House, that can take 500 people, and it has 2 dance floor. So you feel comfortable to put some artists that, you know, okay, it can be between 250 to 300 or more. So at least the target is 400 people. Then you can be sure that, okay, even 400 come, we still have 100 space more. So if you don't do that research, you will always end up in a problem. Or again, artists that cannot pull up 100 people, if you put on a 1,000 capacity, is always a problem.
It's like
more money and you have less people. So these promoters need to also work on and know how much can this artist pull in my venue. You need to know that, or at least have some approximate. You know, you need to have some kind of figure.
It will always be a problem, or I will always have a problem when I am just a wannabe. So I will not put into consideration.
Let me tell you, sorry, some Jamaican artists. When you send your request for them, they ask the capacity, because this is where they set up the price to charge you. They want to know the capacity of the venue. You know, they need to know this very well, because how many people are expecting, the capacity of the venue, they need to know, and so on. And how many people are on the lineup, because they need to know the time they perform. They check all these things. They put all that into consideration. Once those are not convincing, they will just reject the request right away. Because, for example, if you send a request for busy signal for your event, and the BC will ask the capacity, if it's less, capacity, he will reject, because he know with his caliber, with his work, he can pull out many, at least 1,000 or more. So if you want to put him on a 700 capacity, he will reject it straight away, or he will ask you big amount of money, because the reason is, you know, I can pull out more than 2,000 people. So if you want me to come to this venue with a 700 capacity, you have to pay me more money. So this is a way you put a promoter in that situation for you to use your head. So if you want to make money with big artists, put them in at least a big venue.
I think Uncle is saying something very important. He said, if you have a good booking agency, they will vet the promoter to avoid bad surprises, and that is true. That is what. No, but that is what I am recommending to you, Lamin. And I think we are putting everything in shambles, because what is happening, I want us to do that. We don't have a booking agency in Europe based directly to support Gambian musicians. And this is what I'm saying. If we put your power and then King and then allow
me to interrupt you.
No. We are now on the point. Yeah.
Allow me to interrupt it, because you know the fact is, like I said, how many Gambian artists are willing to work with me or with Galle or with you? How many?
No, but now I am saying not you, not me or Galle. I'm saying not you, not me or Galle, but a recognized institution, an established, recognized institution, as in a booking agency that will be able to take the affairs of. So when someone is coming to Finland and Germany, so that booking agency will say, okay, you know what? We think that we can rely on Master Lion to give you these necessary services. We think that we can rely on Baba Galle to give you these services.
You know how it goes. How it goes with some artists or with some booking agents. For example, if I work as a booking agent for some artists, how it goes is like, if my colleague who is a booking agent is bringing an artist on a tour, contact me and say, yo, Master, I have this artist on a tour from this time to this time. Do you want to support? Do you want to do something? So now me, I'll also make my research and contact promoters and so on. Any show that come from my side, my colleague agent will pay me for a specific percentage. You understand? While he will do the booking, but if I also get a show, then he will pay my service. This is a way to make sure you get as many shows as possible. Because you know they cannot do everything alone, because I have a link, they have the link, and the other again have a link. So you know it makes easier. That's why some artists, when they're coming on a tour, you see 30 or more than 20-something shows, because they collaborate with different agents that are also supporting. So our artists, that's what I say, they have to broaden their network. They need to stop me. They cannot do this alone, Carl. To be very honest, they can't do this work alone, unless if they want to work on professional. But if they want to work professionally, even Chronics, no matter how big he is, he cannot do the work alone. He have to work with agents, he have to work with managers and production managers and so on. Every artist, even Yusundur, is not doing everything alone. No matter how
he's placing him there.
So many people working for him. You understand? Jalibaf, they have his own office, they have secretary, they have a booking, people taking care of the booking and so on. He cannot do it alone. So these upcoming artists, they are skillful, they have talent. But now what is left, they have to organize themselves. They're good to go. Because for example, me, when I'm here, I listen to most of their ST, Gisul, ENC, you name it, Royal Messenger and all. I like these people. They are doing great work. You cannot even deny it. This is not it doesn't mean that they cannot do it. They can do it even like any other artist.
Yeah, better.
What is lacking is the professional part of it. This is the problem. If you try to share with them, all they can say you're trying to put them down, and that's not the point. The point is why I'm struggling to put them on track. They will benefit it, not me. You know, that's how it is.
Thank you so much, Master Lion. We have learned a lot and we have had a lot from you. And I can say that you should be glad that you have accomplished your mission by talking about everything that you intended to say last week. And it is important that frank discussions like this is going to lead us to the promised land. And that is the motive why we are inviting stakeholders within the cultural sector of the Gambia, particularly the music sector, to dialogue and also to share knowledge, ideas, and experiences as to what is happening with our industry and how we can be able to push it forward. So I am glad to have you and all the people who are viewing us at this moment. So tell us your last word, because we have already come to...
like I said, I don't have a final word, but I can give some contribution. Carl, my message to Gambian promoters out there, whether you are in Gambia or in abroad, in diaspora, we have to stop this sideline talking, because many of our brothers, they like to talk sideline, talking something bad about the next promoter. We all have problems, you understand? Me and you, like some people, some promoters, we have a good rapport as brothers, you know, we talk. But when it comes business, we can argue, we agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean we have to build negative vibes.
Exactly.
In every business, sometimes things fall apart. It doesn't mean that's the end of everything. We can disagree, we can argue, we can do all kind of negative things, but at the end of the day, we just need to understand it's part of the work, and then we keep moving. But if we continue to build that negative vibe, our Gambian music industry will never go anywhere.
I think
some promoters will never grow, some artists will never grow, some DJs will never reach nowhere, because they are full of negative mentality. This doesn't help any of us. So me, I didn't take any that advice from my mom. Said she always tell me in Mandinga, I will say in English, if two people argue or fight, one have to take the losing part to make it easier. You understand? For example, I say in Mandinka, mama kamin fo wolo nyinti ko ni mo flo dunda nyola nal be kalpe nyamo sambala alti tala no. So kilina be kala tolet yela duma dole ta meka alti tano ni te ko be nyama na nyinga be nyama na rek alti tala no. So I have seen that in many of my Gambian, some artists don't even talk to me, Gambians. Some promoters don't even talk to me. I don't mind. You know, some DJs don't even talk to me for some simple misunderstanding. That's it. They just keep silence. So for me, I'm thankful. I don't disrespect none of them publicly or whatever. I just respect when somebody make a decision to keep his own space. I respect that. I leave you in a space peacefully with respect, without no disturbance. But in the long run, it doesn't help you as an artist. It doesn't help you as a promoter. It doesn't help you as a DJ. We are all in the same on the same boat. We have to understand every business cannot run smoothly all the time. Sometimes misunderstanding will come. Let's talk about it and keep moving. But if we want to fight all the time, attack each other, build negative, and then you can see so many of our promoters, they like to talk all kind of things against the other person. Me, I'm not interested in that kind of style. When I'm an artist, I don't want to know your problem with Mr. So and so. What I want to know, I need your service.
You don't need to talk about that. I was in Stuttgart. I could remember this when you brought Morgan. I went to I was at the backstage, you know, no, close to the backstage. I just went to because the music was loud, and I went down and I said, "Respect, elder." I remember that. Yeah, you came to our office some time ago in the Gambia.
I remember that, you know.
And you said, okay. Yeah, so and so you just turn and then start talking to me. So that is respect.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
And recognizing someone. You know, I was not there to tell you a lot about me to say, oh, I am Kalilu, the Secretary
I
General.
remember that, you know.
So yeah. So I was in that program. A lot of people don't even know because I will buy my drink, you know, stand somewhere else, you know, listen to good music because Morgan was there and some Gambian musicians. I saw you also with Benjamin some time ago, you know.
Yeah.
We know you're doing good. You know, a lot of people are complimenting you that
And then, Carl, I have to say this here loud and clear. I have lots of issues with government artists, especially in Europe. They said I always put them down and put other artists here. These are things they need to understand. Master Lion don't compare no artist. Even whether they believe it or not, I don't compare no artist. But what one thing they need to understand, they cannot expect to be paid 2,000 euro, you know, if they cannot even pull out 200 people. This is
yeah.
not. If we look the business part of it, if I'm somebody who is strict, I will not even book so many artists. But I brought a lot of government artists here. My target was to bring them here, to promote them, to make sure people know what they can do. This has always been my target. If it was only to make money, so many artists that I brought in Helsinki will never even come here because even government artists, they cannot pull government people like hundreds of them. It's very difficult. This is the fact, and it's happening in many other European countries. When you bring
But that is why I was talking about my last word. I was talking about my last word, but I was thinking like if you could have fused these people with Jaliba there, maybe Jaliba is coming and you bring like ST or you bring Attack and ST with Jaliba and so then you will see that the show will be like full because you know.
Coming to that, Carl, allow me. I know we run out of time. Some government artists, the way I do. If you check all my events, my first event was 23rd of February 2011. That was my official event in Helsinki, and that was a government artist, Abraham Kolonji, and a famous top reggae artist at the time. So I always try to put them with another artist because this is a way, you know, people get to know them.
Crowd, yeah.
But now our artists always will want me to pay them big amount of money because that's how they focus on. I have to pay them this amount of money. But if I'm looking in the business part of it, if you cannot pull out 100 people and you want to compare with the other person who can pull 500 people, it cannot be different. It cannot be the same, my brother.
Yeah, because you have to pay the venue. You have to pay the venue. You have to pay
the problem because they think that I'm putting them down. No, I'm not putting no artist down. I am trying to promote them because that is your first time to come to my city. You need to understand you have to build a strong fan base in order to be paid with at least big amount of money. You understand? So these are things they need to understand. It doesn't mean we don't want them to grow. We want them to grow, but if they don't have the crowd, for example, Summer Jam, I can tell you, Summer Jam always will ask you how much your artist can put because I wrote to them a couple of times about one of my artists. They asked me how much this person can put. So if they are not convinced, they will not even waste time. So this is how it goes. If I want to put ST or Gisul to Summer Jam or big event in some place, the event organizers want to know how much your artist can pull. These are the things they count the figures. So if they know this person can bring only 100 people, whilst we have artists that can pull 500 or 1,000, they will go for that. It doesn't mean they put you down, but they check the business part of it. How much, if I have 3 people on the list to book, out of these 3, you have to book 1 artist. Artists with the high amount of people, like I said, the artists that can pull more people, that's the artist they're gonna book. It doesn't mean you are not good or you are not big in your country. But
I don't want to cut you. Maybe what we can do is to carry a survey to know Gambians in the diaspora, particularly in Germany, that intentionally we want to bring ST or Gisel. And then we go on an online voting to see those people who are willing to go, and we can use that as a benchmark or an evidence. to
No,
say?
you know what they need to do.
Yeah.
Artists have to invest money on
Mhm.
European agents or European DJs or European promoters to promote their music in diaspora. In
Oh.
this way, they will have a fan base. Because me, I have been playing a lot of these Gambian artists' music, even though they have never, or they never even value my support. But I have always, for example, I was playing ST when he first dropped a single called Nien Junkun Se Junkun Nien Chun. That song I was
Ah.
playing in Helsinki, and people asked, "Who is this artist? It's a manipulating, so on." That time people don't know. But if somebody don't sacrifice to play, they cannot know. So these are things, somebody have to sacrifice and do it for them. So if we are supporting, they also need to understand and
Because
I
look at Baba Gale, look at Baba Gale, Big FM. To my surprise, Big FM,
yeah.
you have a lot of international DJs on that, and Baba Gale is right there with reggae music, Afro beats, and all that. So when you click online immediately on Big FM, which have more than 10 million people who listen to that radio station, is in Germany, and then a Gambian is like a supplier. He is the one providing playlists.
you know you
So
know
you, yeah.
I have listed here. You understand? One of the requirement or something that artists need to know, you have to get out there in person. It means you as an artist, in order for you to succeed in this music industry, most of the time it goes like who you know. You understand? That makes you to succeed easily and very fast. Because, for example, if you come to me as example, master, I'm an artist, this is what I have, and so and so. So me, I will oh, okay, I also know Carl in Germany. Carl is good. Carl have connection. I contact you. You also know Galle. You contact Galle. Galle contact someone. So it's like who you know. You understand? So this will make it easier for you, for your network to to grow faster, because you contact somebody, he contacts someone, and it goes like that. So then it helps you at the end. So for example, if in terms of booking, some artists I didn't know, like even Jamaican, somebody will talk to me about some artists which I don't know, but I can book him to support based on my colleague. You understand? This is how it goes. But for example, like I was laughing when Galaxy was in Gambia and artists don't even care about him. I take it as myself. I have been in Gambia many times. No artist will even call me, even a one single time. No artist. It will be one or two, myself, some artists. I
So you
have
are
to.
the one who will approach them. You are the one who will
They
invite.
never even care about us, because you know what? They feel big that we without a mama. That's fine. You understand? But now they have to ask themselves, when I was paving the way myself as a promoter, what they have that time, some of these boys they never even exist as artists. So I struggle my way until I am here. You understand?
Yeah, another thing that I have learned, and then that even motivates me to do this program, is that in
Yeah.
Gambia we are quick to bury things. Even if you are alive, people can bury you.
Yeah.
Because people don't, always try to remember the past. We always want to say what past is past, and then we have to. But again,
Another important thing, because I have to talk fast based on time. Gambian upcoming artists need to always give maximum respect to the artists that paved the way. The likes of Rebellion Direcola, Born Africans, you name them, Dr. Oluganda, and all these artists that have been there for so long. We have to accept the fact that these people, they set the trend, because during their time, things were so difficult. Now it's very easy, social media and the like. But when those artists started, it's always difficult. So they need to always recognize them and give them due respect, because sometimes we have those artists here. You understand? Many artists will set up an event. They will never even put the senior artists on their event. This is totally wrong. For example, let me give you an example. When Chronics Buju was free, you understand? All the young artists, they were scrambling to be on that stage. They don't focus on somebody have to pay me. No, they want to pay some respect to Buju. You understand? They celebrate him as a senior, as a legend in the field. But our Gambian artists, to be very honest, no disrespect, but if rebellion set up a show in Gambia, the young ones will hardly even go to support.
No, I totally, Master Lion. I think you are comfortable today speaking the truth, and then we've been recognizing things like that. I have communicated to quite a lot of people, both young artists and then those elder artists who are there, and then sometimes even people like us. Like I will tell the artists, I am not a promoter. I am a cultural activist. I am fighting for the interests and the rights of the artists with regards to what is supposed to be done for the artists and with the artists. But again, doesn't necessarily mean the artist is supposed not to be professional. And that is the reason why part of our initiatives in the Gambia was to come up with a music school through Mandimori Foundation for Performing Arts. And I have dedicated my time and energy to be as an administrative secretary for the Musicians Union of the Gambia. By then, quite a lot of artists don't recognize the union as even an entity that is important. But you can see now the young generation is benefiting from that, because the foundation is being laid for them and they are comfortable to be able to carry on with the music union. So when we were there and then fighting for the rights of the musicians to come together and form their own institution, no one was recognizing us, no one was supporting us. They were not even registering with the music union. And this is the kind of people that we are.
Something I have to say, our government artists also need to stop working on professionally in some aspect. I have to break it down. One, if somebody else book them on a show, they don't put no energy, they don't put no interest. All they focus, he pay me this amount, that's it. You understand? I have seen it through experience. So many of these it doesn't matter whether it's Jisul or whether it's ST, whether it's ENC or any other artist, they don't put so much energy in someone else's event. They only put maximum energy in their own event. This is not fair. If you want to perform on somebody's event, the person will pay you. You have to come wholeheartedly and support the movement. Don't wait till 2 days before the show and you publish it and that's it. You have to make sure this is your work. If somebody need your service, please take it from your heart and come wholeheartedly and support. This is not only about me.
That is the reason why they have to understand the business value change of the music industry.
Yeah, man.
So if they have to apply that like all the time, or every
book them. They will only do their own show. At the end, nobody's gonna book you. They will only come with their own show, and that's the fact. Because, for example, I have been watching open mic festival. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it's challenging. I always put at the back of my mind, how about if the artists come wholeheartedly? It will always look good. And this is a platform which is supporting all of them. So they have to come the way the energy they put in their own event, they have to put equally in any other event. Like me. When you book me to perform as a DJ, I come all out, wholeheartedly. I'll make a video, I'll promote the event from the day we confirm to the last day when I perform for you. I work for my money, even if it's small, but I want to work for it. This is how it should go. And another thing I have to say here, I have seen so many Gambian artists in Gambia performing on one single night on a 4 or 3 event at the same night. This is not professional. Because they cannot do so many events on one night because
Fatih was talking about that. I saw a Facebook post 2 days ago. Malang was complaining about that. Like an artist was booked for a program somewhere, and at the same time he was invited somewhere, and then he was invited. And Gambia is very small, so if you have a program in Brikama, it will even affect a program that is taking place in Westfield.
Sometimes I blame the music industry. Is it Gam Music how to call it.
Oh, they don't have a mandate. They don't have a
okay. The thing is that what I always want to say is that it doesn't help no artist if somebody is launching an album, a big event like that, and then every artist is setting another show, which is like a 5 or 15 minutes drive from each other, and so on. It kills everyone. This is not professional, because if I have an event in Brikama Joko and somebody said the program in Busumbala, somebody said in Sifo, someone said in Gunjur, somebody said in Westfield. So these are all in one night. It doesn't help none of us. So because I have seen was it December 20 something?
December 25th. December 25th.
Chronicle was having an event. There are so many events happening the same night. And some of those artists are in Chronicle lineup, but they have their own shows also around. This doesn't look good, because at the end, the problem is so many of these artists will not even respect the time they have to be in the venue. If you are performing in an event in Helsinki here, you should be in the venue 11 latest, or 10:30, or at least 11, 11:15. If that means if you're performing midnight, you have to be there 11:30. So imagine some Gambian artists, they performing for my event in Brikama Joko, and they should be on stage 12 o'clock. They are in some other event. They will come after 1 or after 2. This time they are already exhausted, but they will just come just to come for a few songs, and after that they will claim big amount of money for me to pay them. This always brings problems.
So I think we also have to educate, we have to educate. We have to start to educate our I don't know, the fans, like the music lovers. If the music lovers are educated to that level, they will also understand that we need professional music that is going to move us, and that will be equivalent to the value that we are paying our money. I think that is important. But again, Master Lion is 5 minutes over the 2-hour mark, and we want to tell you thank you so much for coming and then having a great discussion with us tonight. We are exceedingly glad that we have you for the second time, and if we can have you more times, no problem. We are anticipating to hear from you when you are bringing a band in Helsinki, and we would like to talk about that also here. Until you come our way next time, we want to say thank you so much, and for you to tell your last word to the wonderful viewers who were also participating with us during these 2 hours. Thank you, Master Lion.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Carl, for this so this program you're doing is very good, because it makes many people to understand the fact in Gambian music industry and even music in general. I want to thank Gambian Talent Promotion for the great work they've been doing, and once again, thanks to my boss Usman Juve.
We have a new logo now. You don't see our new logo. We have an office.
That's
in
you allow me. You asked me to say my last word, so let me rush and say that, let our artists try to be creative, because creativity brings this platform here with Gambian Talents, and many other people are doing many other platforms, because if they are not creative, they cannot even set up this platform. And our artists also need to be creative. They need to make sure they work with many people as possible in terms of managing, and then agents. They need international agents. They need even somebody who will be responsible for their booking, in order for them to work professional, because many of our artists don't even have a biography. You're talking about press kit, but some don't even have a biography which talks about the artist. You can just make your research and see. And some people, if you want to find about this artist, and you click, you want to know something about the artist, you cannot find anything. All you can see is the posting of pictures and source and so on. It's not enough. So we have to start to work professionally. Please let's stop this sideline fighting, sidelines argument. You know, somebody will talk to you about some, because me, I have always been an issue to many, but I believe that somebody who don't know me will always talk all kind of things. But if you get to meet me and we work, then things will be quite different. So of course we all have problems, but when problem arise, let's deal it maturely, and we take it as part of this work. You cannot do no work without problems. So you have to be able to handle it with respect and not attacking each other in social media. Insult, some people will insult you, call you all kind of names and so on. You know, if I have to mention one scenario here, it will bring a lot of things. But somebody that I take as a real brother was insulting me. I was so much disappointed. But at the end of the day, I take it, because I know if it's not this work, the person cannot insult. This is something that's gonna help us, and it will not help nobody. Let's try to be professional. Let's work with respect, and also identify people who have been on this journey for so long, because without them, you know, these young ones will find it difficult. So I have to send a maximum respect to King Ralph, you know, Gale, DJ Cora, Kimbai Sound, Champion Sound, and all the seniors who have been there before me, because their contribution, it helps me a lot, because when I start to play as a DJ, I was looking up to those people. So they play a big part in my own career. So the same thing happened to this young one. We are proud of them. You understand? We don't hate them. We don't even compete them. We want them to do more than us. So they have to listen. They have to be willing to learn. You know, in this life, Carl, if you are not willing to learn, you cannot go nowhere. It's nobody knows everything.
I tell you.
So you understand? No, you monkey what? Because I can diam about you, be mean try can grow, and then you achieve as you plan in your own career. That's the main.
Exactly.
Because somebody you don't want him to grow, you will never even support. Or
That's
a promoter, you know. That's a promoter. Really, when I decided to quit, I was talking with this person as from my heart. Really, that, you know, as far as you are there, I feel comfortable. I will always be I'm behind you full time. You know, I will give you all maximum support. But at the end of the day, it ended up being insult. So I was stopped, because this is somebody I look. You know,
I don't want you to be emotional.
For me, it doesn't matter. You know, I still respect everybody, regardless of whatever happened. I take it as part of my work, and big up to everybody. And please, let's keep pushing, because we can do it. It's not much, you know. Big thanks to everybody who are listening, and thanks to everyone who will listen after. Once again, thanks to you, Carl. I hope our artists and promoters and producers will also learn from this, and it's not just to listen at, like we say, this always kill us.
Yeah, anyway, Mr. Lion, thank you so much, and I want to thank our technicians, Balamusa, in the Gambia. He's the one who is making all these wonderful, you know, decorations or whatsoever, and then also our boss, Pa Usman Diouf. I know you are sleeping. That is why you are not taking part in the discussions. We want to say to you, Happy New Year. And then also for the inauguration of the new office in the US. We also want to thank our beautiful viewers, you know, the likes of Badu Job, of Ifam Bondi, and Sankun Jobate, you know, Baba Gal, Ken Ralph, and the many people who are watching at this time. So we want to say thank you so much, and then we want to say Happy New Year to all of you. Until we come your way next week, I am Kalilu Banja. Thank you so much, and good night. Yeah, bless and love. You want to know about the Gambian entertainment industry? You want to know
the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector. You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations. The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions.
Hey Baba!
Jalba!
Aho! Moro!
Bari biba ma diarim bakel.
Konkoto murkoto le konkoto kuto koto purkoto boy.
Muto nyaade man nin korko. Sila koto wakata sate koto.
Prince Kuyatele Mamantanang Entertainment. Wala be bemba kala Senegal jane wori ka me kora awo. Kala purata enti. Be korontoro kanne ala karam fa janne woni.
Yenyum kora bemba minda kanake Gambia jang. Sato dao da tata jenkamo de kafo kora awon. Amma kan man tenkunno banko ka. Iko banko nyaton ko minketa Adama Baruti anala numonyo fosli.
Fatma Baba.
Yenyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko. Amadou Kora wo fanam bi dele don. Ajaratu Fatu Sonko bakaw.
Kora mansa.
Ni aje be kumbola tumbun koto to salon ko dal ko lon do sabu. Kora man ke bi fenti.
Baraka.
Ha.
Ngo batar la beon.
Mbeje ko dura anda mu be mele neti.
Ngali yende o kwa nyulle nata ka musicolu kidimandi nyulle nata ka artisolu kidimandi nyulle nata ka jado ganyandi nyulle nata o ka jololu fanam fintindi Facebook oto YouTube ko YouTube Gambia Talent muna promotion lem Gambia Talent muna promotion ngonda jaworode maribunga wate buna nge jubele wate buna nge la moile wate buna nge la kuomira Gambia Talent woy ngoye julle nata oy kantol kidimandi kantol sewondi kantol nganyandi Gambia Talent buna Gam Talent woy ewa
Gambian Talents TV, nyunule la dokuo seneyata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunule la dokuo betiata. Gambia, ngala dokuo betiata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunule la dokuo seneyata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunule la dokuo betiata. Yeah, Gambia, ngala dokuo seneyata. Yo Gambian Talents TV njalam alnal badi malam nene jeli suso bintele bale jantonko alkal Gambian Talents TV la moy every day and night TV la mi yalla nako mashallah ila diamol ka bet yalla promotional ka bet yalla wow ala baraka bake ala baraka fosila koteng